This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching Von Allen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
Von Allen Sports. Von Allen Sports.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports, the Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man Von Allen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
Von Allen Sports.
Hey guys. I don't know, man. It's Thanksgiving. Been a weird year. Had a lot of problems with people on Twitter and things. They really upset me and really bothered me and bothered everyone around me and all the people I know. It's been really difficult. But I just have one thing to say. How about them Cowboys? Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Dallas, I got my Skip Bayless coming through right now, right? I had never said that in my life. Never said that in my life. That's the first time I've ever said that. If I have said that before, I don't remember. I have no idea. But let's go. Patrick Mahomes. Oh my God, he's open. Mahomes magic. Mahomes magic. Let me tell you something. Any quarterback that can run away from the defense, okay? Because the defense has to choose. They have to choose if they're going to stop Andy Reid's scheme, you know, his wide open receivers and all that, or if they're going to stop Mahomes from running. And you kind of have to pick. It's like you have to kind of guess, pick and choose what's going to happen. But for Mahomes, and this is the Andy Reid factor that Chiefs fans don't want to tell you about, when Mahomes gets away, if you're just a quarterback who can get away and get out of the pocket, Andy Reid is going to have a receiver that instinctually knows and is trained to make it, well, instinctually, I should say, trained to make it almost instinctual, to know where to go with the ball, and know where to run, so Patrick knows where to go with the ball, okay? It looks cool. It looks good, okay? But it's not that hard. And so when you see that, it's like, oh my God, Mahomes magic. Really, it was, you'll see this in college a lot, by the way. Okay, so just watch any college game where the quarterback is can't read defenses, can't throw up in the pocket very often. Any quarterback like that, you watch them run around, there's going to be a guy open, okay? Why? Why is this the case? Because a defensive back can only cover a wide receiver for so long, okay? It's an impossible job. It's the most difficult job on the field as far as physically, in my opinion, because to keep up with a wide receiver, you don't know where he's going. You have to guess. He knows where he's going. You don't know where he's going. but to hold him and to keep him covered for 10 seconds is an eternity, okay? So that already you're at a disadvantage, and a guy is going to probably get open at some point. But this happens in college all the time. But I know people get excited when they see Mahomes. It's just not that big of a deal. What did I see? I saw Mahomes not getting the ball out, okay? Holding on to it for 5 to 10 seconds. Like just standing there and then trying to get away. He'll get sacked, or it'll be an incompletion, or it'll get rushed, or something like that. He's been in the league since 2017, started his first game in the last week of 2017, but his first starting year was 2018. He's been in the league a long time. You guys know 4 or 5 years ago, I was saying he needs to learn to read defenses. He has to learn how to get rid of the ball, know where everyone's going before the defense even knows what they're doing. You have to be able to do that, or this isn't going to last forever. He still hasn't. I cannot believe it. I can't believe we're this far and he still doesn't know. He still looks like the young guy, the rookie, okay, or the second year guy who is relying just on his physical ability and hoping that Andy gets somebody open. And the problem with that is that the league catches up, okay? The league always adjusts to these type of skill sets. It's just how it works. The only quarterback skill set that you cannot basically figure out, or if you want to call it that, is a cerebral quarterback who can read defenses and outthink you and out-strategize you. There is no solution to that that's consistent, okay? Because what you need is, there's too many things that you need in order to make that happen. So you can do it for like one game, okay? You can do it for maybe a few games, but you could not consistently. For example, the Giants, who figured out how to stop Brady's offense in the 2007 Super Bowl. It worked that day, okay? It worked that day. Why did it work that day? Caught off guard. Patriots were a little cocky. They didn't take it as seriously. They thought we beat them. We put up 30-something points or whatever it was a few weeks prior in the Week 17 matchup. We're going to kill them. You know, it's a factor of that. It's a factor of the Giants changing their game plan. They had seen the Patriots, so they kind of had an idea. Tom Coughlin worked next to Bill Belichick at the Giants under Bill Parcells, meaning there's some familiarity there. So Tom Coughlin is going to have an intimate familiarity with the Perkins offense, and you get that one day. But if you play that Super Bowl like a series, like in basketball or baseball or something, 3 out of 5, okay, 4 out of 7. I don't think the Giants even get one after that. They may get the first one, but I don't think they get one after that. And that's because there's no consistent way to stop it. It's just how it is. Unless something drastically changes, like what they're kind of working on it, there won't be a solution to stop a guy like Brady or Manning, someone like that. Now, if you're a guy that can do both, well, in this day and age, in this time, you're amazing. So I ask you this: what if Patrick had done that? What if he had? Maybe he can't. Okay, I'm not saying he's refusing to. Maybe he just doesn't know how. I mean, that mind is a very specific thing. If it wasn't, then every quarterback would do that, right? But maybe he just can't. Maybe he just doesn't have that kind of thinking process. But when you have physical gifts, when you can sling the ball around, when you can run around and do all that crap that he does, well, you've done that your whole life. You've done that since junior high and high school and through college. That's a crutch. It's what you rely on. And then when you rely on that, you don't build the other skill sets. And when the play breaks down, you default to what you know best, to what's comfortable, to what's familiar. And that would be trying to escape the pocket and make some kind of hero ball play, which it does work sometimes. But we saw that the lack of reading defenses and the lack of being able to get rid of the ball and know where your targets are, know your second, third, fourth target, that costed them today. It costed them. It cost them a lot of fourth downs, a lot of punts, a lot of, just constantly being up against it, being up against it, being up against it. So that's that. That's the Chiefs side of it, in my opinion. And we'll get to what the Cowboys did. But how you guys doing? Let's see. And I put the Rumble Super Chat link at the very top if you guys want to send a Super Chat. Tyree's here. What's up, man? Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, you guys. John, what's up, man? Blind Assassin. Israel. How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? You know what? It's goofy to say, but actually felt good. Sierra Chubbs. Look who's back, guys. Nefertiti. Nefertiti. Israel, watch your mouth. Keep Mahomes' name out your mouth. I'll slap you. I noticed that Tony Homo, he was pulling back a little, not a lot, but he pulled back a little on the Mahomes slobbing and the glazing of the Chiefs. Maybe it's because they were playing the Cowboys. He didn't want to piss off the Cowboys fan base that was watching because, he wants their worship because he was a Cowboy for a long time. So I think that's the only reason why he pulled back a little, but he wasn't near as obnoxious today as he normally is. Only Patrick Mahomes. How about only Dak Prescott? How about that? Yeah, Tyree says blown out in the Super Bowl not once but twice. And I noticed something that Romo said. He said the Chiefs never have problems or get blown out like this, or get blown out. He was talking about a potential blowout coming, and so they never get blown out. It was like it's extremely rare. They just had that one Super Bowl last year. Romo, you called that Super Bowl, didn't you? Didn't Romo call the Super Bowl against the Bucks where they got blown out? I'm just people's memories are pretty rough. So Blind Assassin calls Nefertiti Miss Von Allen. I like that. Very formal. What's up, Gord King? Hey, today's your day. Today is Gord King's day, right? People are serving a lot of pumpkin pie today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if today a lot of your people were massacred, or if maybe in Pumpkin Land you guys donate your dead bodies to the cause, and it's some kind of like ritual that you guys engage in with the humans. I'm not sure. I was serving pumpkin pie as objective. Okay, so you find it evil. You find it genocidal almost, I'd say. That's true, Israel. The Chiefs should never win on Thanksgiving, right? It's just not right. It's so wrong. We should never let them win because it's not American. It's not very American to let the Indians win on Thanksgiving, right? So the Cowboys took care of that. White man come. No, actually, the Chiefs came to white man because they went to Dallas. We Chiefs go to Dallas. White man, kick our ass. I don't know. Whatever Israel said, I'm just running with it. So Pumpkin pie is disgusting. It's absolutely revolting. I don't know how anybody eats it. Oh, I'm in such a good mood today. Let's go. Good job, Dallas. Papa Pumpkin says Dallas won the game of Cowboys and Indians. And tonight, that's pretty based. It works. It definitely works. So I briefly saw some Chiefs fans whining on. By the way, guys, stick around. Tonight we're going to build the perfect quarterback. You guys are going to like this. It's going to be a fun game we're going to do. But the Chiefs fans are crying. They're whining. The flags, the flags, the blah, blah, blah. Okay. You guys know how I am. I'm an NFL purist in the sense that I don't like a lot of flags. I like the guys to fight for it, just punish each other. I don't care if you're yanking on someone's arm or not. I really don't give a crap. But the receiver should be able to fight back too and say, you want something? Pop. A lot of these receivers, guys, are enormous people, okay? If they were allowed to hit back, it would be the defensive backs would really have a problem. But so I like that kind of football. I guess I'm biased. I kind of grew up with that kind of football, you know. Watched Michael Irvin versus Dion, and fighting all the time. Andre Rison versus maybe it was Dion again. I don't know, but those guys were constantly fighting each other. Sterling Sharp, it was fun. It made the game exciting. But yeah, we don't have that. But if that's what they're going to call, then the calls were legit. Because here's what was happening. The Chiefs could not stop Pickens and Lamb. They couldn't. They couldn't keep up with them. And I don't just mean down the field. I mean off the line of scrimmage. They couldn't. They were just getting beat everywhere. And the Chiefs started holding every time. They'd yank on the arm, or they'd pull back on the jersey, or wrap around their neck. Every play, it felt like. And the rest would let it go. And then they'd do it again, and let it go. And then they'd throw the flag. So if you look at the flags that were thrown, yes, they're kind of iffy, right? Like, again, for my taste, I wouldn't call that. Just like I wouldn't call the flag that gave the Chiefs the Super Bowl over the Eagles. Never in a million years would I have thrown that flag in that moment like that. Especially since the Eagles player was being held, that caused Mahomes to throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. But whatever. But if that's the game they're playing, and if that's the NFL they're playing, then those calls were legit. Again, I wouldn't personally call them, but if that's the game, then that's the game. So they tried to give Mahomes a flag for getting hit out of bounds. They picked it up. But what that shows you is the reactionary bias. Okay? Patrick was hit 5 yards inside the boundary line. But just throw the flag. Just automatic, throw the flag. Can't help it. They can't help it. They just instantly do it. That's the automatic bias that they have. And then the main ref, who seemed to be determined to not have a reputation for kissing the Chiefs' ass, he's like, "Yeah, no, we're picking that up, buddy. We're picking that up." I'm happy for Israel, though. Israel's a Cowboys fan, guys. And I think tonight we all were. I think we were all, You know what I love about watching the Cowboys, though? You don't get to see it very often because they are hardly ever in winning formation. I'm sorry, Israel. I didn't mean it to sound as bad as it did. But they're rarely in the winning formation. But when they are, they do the old Tom Landry line where they like that. I love that. I absolutely love that. And but you know, you don't get to see it very often because if the Cowboys do win a game, it's probably like at the last minute they're struggling, so they don't get to do that. So it's rare that they win a game convincingly. But I want you to think about something, guys. The Cowboys have beaten, okay, not just in 1 week, but since Sunday. So 4 days. In 4 days, and they have beaten both teams that were in the Super Bowl, this last Super Bowl. The Eagles and the Chiefs in a span of 4 days. What I've seen with the Cowboys is a different team. Something changed. Something is clicking now. Something is working. The defense struggled on a few busted plays, but that's going to happen with the Chiefs. That's just part of their scheme, part of how, you know, and to Mahomes' credit, he can extend the plays and makes it difficult. But for the fundamentals, Dallas has it. Okay, they have it on defense. Dak was finding his guys. I know we threw that pick early, but it didn't seem to bother him. Something, and I'm not talking about scheme. I'm not talking about player ability because they always had that. They've always had these good players that can make plays. Cohesiveness is what I see. I see a different vibe, a different just, you know, Ferguson, he's going to be good, all that. But something else has changed. And it's like an attitude. And I'm not even talking about this year. I'm talking about the last few weeks. I'm talking about recent. Like, this is a different team from the team we saw in the beginning of the year. They're just coming together. And so we look at their record as 6-5-1. I don't think that's them. I think that's by the end of the year, we're going to look at them and go, it's kind of hard to imagine that the Cowboys have that many losses because they're just going to be different to us. That's what I think is happening here. You don't beat the Eagles and the Chiefs right in a row like that and look good like that and then all of a sudden fall apart. I mean, if anybody could do it, it's probably Dallas, if anybody could fall apart like that. But I just don't think so. Guys, we have 52 watchers, but only 8 likes. Could you guys please click the like button? Please click the and send some Mexican Cokes to my address right now. In cases of it. Preferably with the real Coke in it. Okay. Blind Assassin says, can't stand the Cowboys. Sorry, suck ass. But good win. No. It was glorious. I have nothing against the Cowboys at all. I don't even... My whole life I've been a fan of AFC teams. I really have no... They annoyed me in the 90s when I was a kid. That was only because they kept beating AFC teams. That was pissing me off. And everybody in Arkansas loved the Cowboys. It seemed like the way, you know, the Chiefs are now, and it's like everybody loves them, you know, at when it first started. Nobody loves the Chiefs anymore, I'll tell you that. But the Cowboys, they had a loyal fan base. It was crazy. They still do, but they're more delusional than anything. I'll be honest with you, with this game going on right now, the Ravens and Bengals, I kind of wanted to see Joe Flacco. I wanted to see Joe versus Baltimore, and I actually wanted to see how well he would do against them, knowing Harbaugh and knowing the scheme and knowing he practiced against this all the time. So this exact type of defense, he knows the calls, he knows what he's looking at. It's just it would have been interesting to see that. I mean, really no point in Joe Burrow coming back anyway, right? They're 3-8. Israel says, yeah, it's our head coach, Aaron. Brian Schottenheimer doesn't coach like a pussy and actually plays aggressively when needed. That's an interesting for Schottenheimer to play like or to coach like that, isn't it? If you guys know what I'm talking about, comment in the section if you get me, if you understand what that meant. Let's go. A while ago, I heard the commentator say, vintage Lamar Jackson. Vintage Lamar Jackson? What is that exactly? What is vintage Lamar Jackson? I'm just curious. Maybe. I don't know. 2 years ago? 4 years ago? 5 years ago? What is vintage? You don't say vintage until like the guy's in like year 9 or 10, you know, and they do something like from when they're early in their career. Vintage Lamar Jackson. It would be interesting though to watch Baltimore drop this game to the Bengals. John Thomas Chavez says, vintage Lamar Jackson equals perennial playoff choker. I know, man, it's rough. They have some nice uniforms, though. I'll give them that. Very cool logo. They got the best logo in the league, probably. We're one of the best logos in the league. I mean, one of the best mascots, the Ravens. I mean, it would if you were a fan of the Ravens, it would be cool to like wear their stuff, you know. Do I think Lamar's past his prime? No. No, but the problem is that every single year that goes by, you get a step slower when you're a physical quarterback like that, when you run like that. It gets a little harder each year, and it might not be noticeable from year to year, watching like from last year to this year, but it adds up and then it hits you, wham! You're significantly slower than you were. A lot of you guys probably don't remember, but Michael Vick was like that. So he was unstoppable, couldn't be caught. Never seen anybody run like him. Never seen anybody run like him since. It was weird. It was just strange. Like, just whoa. Okay, what was that? But then it hit him, and that you know, it didn't help that he went to prison. But when he came back, he knew, and he even admitted this. He knew he couldn't do as much as what he did before. He couldn't do it anymore. He had to learn how to throw the ball. He had to learn how to play quarterback the right way. So when he came back under the Eagles, and Andy Reid, of course, he had the best season of his career. He was in, I think he finished second or third in MVP that year. So I think it was 2010. But you have to adjust. You have to when you're like that. It works in college, and it will work in the pros for a little while if you're really good at it. You have to be really good at it. but it can't last forever. But I think he's still got a few years left where he'll look like, maybe 2 more years probably, where he looks like the guy that you see all the time, and then he'll just start to have to alter it. But he won't. He won't. It's like Mahomes. It's the comfort zone. It's the rely and go back to what works and what they're used to, and that's what they do. That's why it's almost better to not have that ability. That's what helped Brady. That's what helped Peyton Manning and quarterbacks like that. No ability to run. So it's either you learn how to throw the ball, you learn how to defeat the team with knowing their plays, knowing what they're going to do, knowing to go with the ball, or you don't survive because you're not certainly getting out of there with your feet. It's not happening. So there is no, I'll revert to my feet and get out. That don't exist. So your comfort level literally is stepping up in the pocket and finding the right receiver. That's your default position. And when running around and escaping is what you've done your whole life, man, when that's not there anymore, you're in trouble. John, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. They named it after Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. Edgar, of course, is from Baltimore. I can't remember the other names they came up with, but the Ravens won by a huge margin. So, and man, is it a good thing that they did? It's such a cool name. So nobody got my Schottenheimer joke, huh? Damn. Maybe I am getting old. Am I aging out my audience here? I'm the oldest now. Is that what's happening? Cord King, you're an idiot. Yes, that's correct. Yes, Schottenheimer is that Christopher Nolan movie. Yes, yeah, it won Oscar, right? Yeah, the Schottenheimer. Yes, it was about a Jewish defensive football coach in the 1930s who escaped Nazi Germany because Hitler wanted to use him to create the best football team in the world. And Schottenheimer couldn't, he had to escape with all of his other, of course, I'm completely making that up, but every bit of it, but still. Schottenheimer. You did not see it? You're very good. Very, very good. What a movie, though, right? What would it be if World War II was actually fought on the football field and everyone was scrambling to find the best players and the best coaches? My God. You saw it 9 times. Gord King with the puns. You are the pun king, I tell you that. Do you just go around constantly thinking in puns? Is that how it works? Is that a touchdown into Nagasaki? Yeah, I'd say so. Jesus.
Yeah, Israel on X, you keep tagging me to this from this account that I have blocked for spam, so I don't even know what they're saying. And I'm not going to unblock them because I don't tolerate that crap. But fine. If no one wants to say anything, I'll tell you. The joke is about Brian Schottenheimer is that his father, when I was growing up, his father was the head coach of, well, he coached actually two teams. It depends on what time frame you're looking at. So he was the coach of the Chiefs um, when they had Joe Montana, and then he coached the Chargers. And there was a thing that we called, there's a nickname for him. It's called Marty Ball, Marty Schottenheimer. Marty Ball was conservative, weak, afraid to push the envelope type of football. It was take no chances, no killer instinct whatsoever, just do the most basic thing to not lose instead of to win. That was Marty Ball. And he would constantly have good teams, sometimes great teams. And the reason is because they played the fundamentals well. That was Marty Ball. You played the fundamentals well, but you were lacking that attack, that you were lacking that, just final dagger into the person and finish it off. And they just didn't have that. And so you'd call it Marty Ball. And then that became a thing, like a negative, when you would talk about a team who's choking things away or not willing, able to put it to, into the like next level there. You'd call it Marty Ball. So with Brian being his son, it's kind of funny that he is bringing this kind of thing to Dallas, the opposite of, doing the opposite of what his dad did. What a catch. Holy crap. Tanner Hudson just caught an amazing touchdown. One-handed with the left hand. And that, children, watch the replay. Look at his eyes. His eyes followed the ball all the way to the hand. Okay? All the way. If you follow the ball all the way to your hand, you cannot drop it. You can't drop it. Okay? I've said this before. Go in the backyard, have someone throw you a football. Watch the ball go all the way to your hands. I'm talking only that. You will not drop the ball. I'm telling you. This guy watched the ball make contact all the way. And you think, oh, well, duh, of course. No, they drop football all the time in the NFL because they look away. They think they got it, and they look away like that, looking to where they're going or whatever, and then they just, doop, and then they drop it. That's how you do it. Yes, John, that's what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to open this window a little harder. I'm getting hot, but I'll be right back, guys. Just a second. Don't go anywhere. Okay, thank you. Okay, I didn't notice. Where in the game are we? Like, what quarter is it? It should be the fourth, right? You guys like honeycomb? The cereal? I don't know if you guys knew this. I have tons of boxes of cereal. I only eat it dry. I eat it like candy. So I have like a bowl of honeycomb. I learned that habit as a kid. Went over to this lady's house who was a member of our church. She was like the most respected member of our church. Her name was Helen Bailey. We called her Sister Bailey. And she would have honeycombs in this container, and she'd just let me eat them. It was like, and I got used to it, got hooked on it. What the hell, blind assassin? Well, up yours. You hope the smog gets me? Well, you know what? I hope the green cloud comes for you. Unless you have lamb's blood on your door. That's a deep cut right there. So you get to that. I'm making all kinds of references tonight that nobody understands. Burrow over Lamar, that's not exactly controversial. Holy crap, John Thomas Chavez, look at that, the young feller. The young feller got it. Good job. Good job. Well, Baltimore's going to have to do something. It just mirrors this game should be farther along than it is. Hmm. Blind Assassin's in a cheeky mood tonight. Be careful. I'll find out where you live, and I'll send Papa Pumpkin there. Take care of you. Oh, almost sneezed. Sorry. Okay. Have I ever been to the cereal restaurant? Never heard of it. Sounds pretty cool, though. Wait. I like Papa. Patrick Mahomes appears to be a fan of Passovers. Blind Assassin, you're in D.C.? What are you doing in D.C.? There used to be a guy on here that was in D.C. His name was Jalen. I'm sure you guys remember him, but I haven't seen him in a while. He hasn't been on here. Hope he's okay. I mean, from what I gather, he lives in D.C., but I don't think he lived in like the best parts or anything because he'd make comments about where he lived. It was a dangerous city, or was. It was until, so. Darn, what's up, man? You missed a lot. You missed a lot. Blind Assassin was born and raised in D.C. How did I not know that? How did I not know that? I don't. James Johnson says, Blind Assassin is doing a nature documentary about the lizard people. I like it. I like it. Blind Assassin is the supervillain. He's being one tonight, right? Blind Assassin 85. I'm going to guess you were born in 1985, right? Is that what that means? Now you have a wrench next to your name, which means that you used to have a membership here. The sanctity of this place has been fouled. Very good. Very good. Okay, and the Bengals have just decided not to stop anybody. Okay? So the Bengals thought 19-7, we're feeling pretty good. I mean, we could probably not do anything and lose the game and it'll be okay because we played 3 quarters. That sounds about right. I can't believe that, this is the team that was in the Super Bowl just a few years back. And it's just the number one attribute of a quarterback before anything else is availability. You have to stay on the field. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are. You have to stay on the field. Or you're no good. In fact, you're worse than no good. Not only are you missing, but your team is got that salary cap hit, and they can't go out and get someone else because they're stuck with you. So not only are you gone, but you're taking up that money. A quarterback has to stay on the field somehow. He has to just figure out a way to get his body right. If you have an offensive line who can't stop anyone, then you've got to go to the ownership, go to the coaches, and say, look, fix this. If you're not going to fix it, trade me. Can't trade me? No, I'm not going to play right now. You have to do something to force their hand. You can't just let them throw you out there it's just so stupid. The problem, Joe Burrow's biggest problem was that he was drafted to the Bengals, the worst owner in sports. Okay? Mike Brown is a cheap piece of crap. Okay? He had these teams over and over again that had good talent, and it was the same problems over and over again. You guys saw how Carson Palmer had to get out of there. It's just, he's crappy. His daughter's crappy, and she's going to be worse than him when he dies. I cannot believe these people are related to the great Paul Brown. It's really, really just completely disturbing to his legacy. Dan Campbell? Oh, I'm done with him. I'm done with Dan Campbell. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Jared Goff. But I can't watch the Lions anymore without just massively annoying. It's just, this guy he's kind of an anomaly in which that he clearly is a factor in why the Lions are good again, because they've been garbage forever. Yes, even during the great Matthew Stafford era, they were garbage. Everybody trying to make Matthew Stafford the second coming of Tom Brady all of a sudden. It's disgusting. But yeah, he's the reason, you know, that they're good again. But he's also the reason why they lose. It's like a weird situation there. Yeah, darn. At one time, Carson Palmer was the third best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. There was a time where you would say Peyton, Brady, Carson Palmer. Seriously. Might sound weird to some folks, but it's true. He was that good, playing that well. He was throwing to Chad Johnson and TJ Who's Your Mama. Is that true, Papa Pumpkin? Caleb Williams needs to average 239 passing yards per game for the next 6 games to be the first Chicago quarterback to hit 4,000 yards. Is that for real? That can't be right. You telling me Jay Cutler never got 4,000 yards? Come on. No. There's no way Jay Cutler didn't get 4,000 yards. I mean, I believe you. I want to see how close he gets, is what I'm checking. Yeah, he got it in Denver. The closest he got as a Bear was 38-12 in 2014. That's crazy. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. As long as the Bears have been around, they've never had a 4,000-yard passer. Wow. That is okay. Well, then. That is something that you would think maybe we should kind of change our approach. You know, we've been known as this smash mouth defense team, you know. It's not been working. Maybe we should kind of like switch it, change it up a bit. See what happens. Nah, we'll just keep doing the same thing. John, you're right. Jay Cutler would be the type of person to get 3,999 yards, and then he'd say, I'm out. And then he'd go to the sideline and start smoking. Just, okay, I'm done. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what Jay Cutler would do. You guys see Tom today during that Thanksgiving thing where he's throwing to kids? He was throwing to this Kansas City Chiefs fan, this kid, and they brought up the clip because it was from a few weeks back. And he fired this ball to this kid and he dropped it. And then Brady says, sorry, not sorry, catch the damn ball. He's talking about a kid that was a Chiefs fan. Tom Brady still wants to play. You know he does. It's unbelievable. The Lions kid catch the ball at least. Well, these Lions kids did good against Brady. Not against Brady, with Brady. Sorry, that's funny. Boy, he still wants to play, guys. He still wants to play. Oh, what a throw! Now, that's the Joe Burrow that we got used to. Haven't seen in a long time. But he's got to get out of there. He has got to get out of Cincinnati. Besides, who would want to live in Cincinnati anyway? Where's Addy at? I know he's a Cleveland guy, but I want to ask him what Cincinnati's like. I've been through there like in passing, but I don't know much about it other than it seems like it sucks. When I was a kid, my dad watched a show called WKRP in Cincinnati. It always depressed me. The city seemed very depressing and kind of cold and dull. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Nothing like sending your family members a link to the show and they all ignore your ass. They probably got tired of me talking about sports all the time. They're like, I'm not going to sit there and tune into watching them talk about sports. He never shuts up. Thanks, man. Thank you. Love this sport. It's awesome. Cutler, the most I don't give up quarterback I've ever seen. Dude, Jay Cutler was a meme before memes. Like, if Cutler played now, I'm not joking, okay? With the way the social media is today, and we had social media, it just wasn't near near as effective and reach and everything. But if Jay Cutler played now, the dude would be a legend. Okay? Not a legend because he's going to Super Bowls. He would be the greatest representation of a human meme ever. Okay? It would just be phenomenal. I can't express how hilarious this guy was. And he wasn't trying to be funny. It wasn't on purpose, like it wasn't meant to be funny, it wasn't meant to be haha. He just did not care about anything. The guy barely knew he was alive. He's the kind of guy that could know how to fly a plane and the pilots are both dead. And he would go up there and he would sit in the cockpit and go, even though he knew he could fly it, and he might just let it crash. He might just light up a cigarette and say, "Yeah, I don't know, I'm over it," that kind of thing. The guy just didn't really care at all. He just didn't care. And what was so crazy is he could play. He could play. He actually could play. If memory serves me correctly, he was the best quarterback taken in the '06 draft. I think he ended up being the best quarterback of that draft. I think so. Got two. to see Jay Cutler now playing now would be so funny. The amount of memes, the amount of legendary status he would have, it'd be something. And the fact that he went to Chicago, because in Denver he was taken more seriously. Like in Denver, he was a really good player, but and they had Brandon Marshall. They had a lot of good players in Denver at that time, but there's just a lot of conflict. And he got out. He got sent to Chicago, and that just changed everything. It was in Chicago he really kind of became the Jay Cutler that we love, which is the I don't care. I don't even know I'm alive, and I'm too lazy to even. I just don't care. I'm in a playoff game. I don't care. I'm going to go and ride the bicycle on the sidelines. Does anybody have a cigarette? Do you got a cigarette? No? Okay. The guy that fell asleep at halftime in the locker room. Okay? That's Jay Cutler. Legend. Did Jay want to leave Denver? I don't know if it was Denver, or Josh. I don't know, like, what the situation was there. I'm not sure. I can't remember the details. I can't remember everything, or like what the timing was. Off the top of my head, I just remember that there were issues in Denver. So, and Brandon Marshall ended up in Chicago as well, and him and Jay Cutler ended up together in Chicago. And again, they were okay. They would make the playoffs and stuff. It was just a weird situation. But the more important the game got, the less Jay cared. It was really funny. The Bengals defense has decided that if Joe Burrow's so great, he's just going to keep scoring as we give up touchdowns. It seems to be that's what they're thinking. This guy can run? Yeah, I would say so. I'd say Henry can run. What do you guys think? These commentators are idiots. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So I don't, John, for some reason, I don't remember McDaniels and Jay Cutler. Like, I don't remember. I don't know. I can't remember the circumstances of that. I just remember. I just remember Cutler. There was a lot of drama, going on there. Okay, let's see here. It was probably, Mike Shanahan wasn't in Denver anymore. Josh McDaniels was only in Denver for a short time when Cutler got sent away. Maybe McDaniels was trying to like set a tone, like the Belichick, like you're saying, trying to be Belichick. It's like, I'll get rid of the star quarterback and I'll get my own guy. You know, he's probably trying to do that. And then he drafted Tebow, which was, interesting. Tebow, 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 Tebow. All I can remember is Tebow winning that playoff game in 2011 against the Steelers. That walk-off touchdown in overtime. That wouldn't happen anymore. The Steelers would have got the ball. A lot of things have changed since then. But anyway, if I don't give a crap was a person, it's Jay Cutler. I could see him and his wife at home, and she's like, "Sweetie, could you take our son to the doctor, his doctor's appointment?" And he's like, "I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I was thinking about doing something else. I don't know. Maybe. I don't care." Jay Cutler was vendor built different. Very good. Well done. I actually was hoping the Cardinals was going to draft Jay Cutler, and Denver got him afterwards. So the Cardinals were stupid, as they always are, and they went with Matt Leinart. Tim Tebow is interesting because that time frame is when me and Melina first got together, and she was learning about football. During this time, she had no knowledge that Peyton Manning was a Colt. Her only memory of Peyton Manning was a Bronco. And here's why. Because in 2011, all she heard when I was watching football was Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow. It was everywhere, right? And she's like, who is this guy? She keeps overhearing it, like when she's around the house. And, I'm getting sick of hearing this guy's name. Who is this person? Well, that was 2011, and that was the year that Peyton didn't play for the Colts. So there was no Brady versus Manning, none of that. That was the year they were tanking for Andrew Luck. And then that next year, of course, Peyton is on the Broncos. So that's her perspective is interesting. Lamar just threw a pick. Well, he didn't. It got tipped, but yeah. Vintage Lamar. I'm sorry. It's so simple, but it hit me. I just found it funny. Vintage Lamar. Oh my God. Okay, commentators, say that now. Vintage Lamar. Is it just me or does that girl look like a dude? I thought that was a tranny. Oh, now that I got her up close, she doesn't look like a tranny anymore. She kind of did, though. She kind of does. Actually, she does. I'm talking about the Olympic girl. Anyway, you can't tell anymore, right? Now you have to wonder, is there something down there or is there not? He's better than Josh Allen. I know. That's what I hear. Oh, you know what? I am in West Hollywood, so maybe that's why I'm getting that commercial. Okay, I think the Bengals may have this game in hand. Okay, so let's play a game, and we can always check back into the game as it goes. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to build the greatest quarterback we can. All right, guys? But here's the thing. We're going to have rules. Okay? The reason we have to have rules is because it won't be fun otherwise. Because we'll end up just building Tom Brady with Michael Vick's legs. Okay? So that would be the shortest game ever. All right? You guys are on fire tonight. I'm telling you. Diego Tharn says, let's throw in Jamarcus Russell's work ethic. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build the best quarterback, and then we're going to build the worst quarterback. Okay? So that's the game. Darn says we Phillip Rivers pullout game. His pullout game is not very good. So I don't think so. That would have to go to the bad quarterback, right? Yeah, you guys are in a mood tonight. What's going on? So we're just doing the dogs right now. We're the worst quarterbacks ever, right? Would Tom be willing to use the dog cloning technology on himself after Jake May retires? Yeah, I don't know how long it takes for the specimen to grow in the incubator or whatever. So we'll probably have another Tom Brady at some point. Okay, so now we're just now all you guys are doing now is just building the shitty quarterback. It seems like that's what you want to do. Patrick Mahomes' ability to read defenses? Oh my God. Oh my God. Kyler Murray's height? LeBron James' ability to read. Yeah, that dude never gets past the first chapter, does he? Okay, so we're just building the shitty quarterback now. Is that what we're doing? I love that. Patrick Mahomes' ability to read defenses. That's good. Conor McGregor's sobriety. He's not a quarterback. You broke the rules. You broke the rules, damn you. You broke the rules. Stop it. All right. Hey guys, can we get the likes up, please? If you're watching, please click the like button. Thank you so much. I love you guys. If you're new here, subscribe. You will be happy here. Look how much fun we're having, right? So we do this every week. You can say what you want. We don't care. Just do it. Nathan Peterman's vision. Poor Nathan Peterman, man. That guy, Bobby Douglas accuracy. Joe Burrow's injury history. How about that? We throw that in there. Justin Fields' processing speed. Okay. This is the shittiest quarterback of all time. I love the Jamarcus Russell work ethic. I love that. That's good. Jay Cutler's attitude. Can we throw that in there? Maybe we can throw in Shadir Sanders' arrogance. Ryan Leaf's criminal record. What does that have to do with anything? Okay. You guys, y'all are dickheads, man. Come on. You guys are mean. You're just hateful. You're hateful people. Such dicks. Damn. Sam Bradford's durability, that's for sure. My God. Damn, dude. Papa Pumpkin says OJ Simpson's dual threat ability. That's just wrong. That's that's just wrong. Israel says Aaron Hernandez's ability to absolutely kill it. Or his ability to hang around during the play. You guys are evil. You're evil. Okay? You're mean. You're mean and evil. Yeah, Brady's speed, we got to put that in there. He is the slowest mother I've ever seen. Tom Brady, I've never seen anything like it. It's unbelievable how slow he was. He actually got faster as he got older, which was very weird. I use the word faster very loosely here. Harry Gustin to his brain. That dude's got so much CTE rot in his brain, it's not even funny. Henry Drugs is fast and furious driving ability. There you go. Matt Patricia's offensive play calling. Who had a weaker arm than Pennington? I don't know, man. The only thing I could think of is Peyton Manning 2015 or Drew Brees 2020. That that would be the only thing I could think of that was weaker than Pennington. Somebody asked me back there and I missed it. Let me go back here. Well, yeah, James Johnson asked me, does Brady's 2022 season damaging to Brady's career? No. No, nobody even thinks about it. Nobody even remembers it. And plus, anything he did at age 40 and over was gravy. So the guy was the GOAT anyway. All of that was taking an amazing cake and just adding on more frosting, just like get that really good shit up on top of it. And that's really what that was. But instead of just adding the good frosting, Tom decided, yeah, I want another Super Bowl. Just you know. So, our wait, did he add two? Yeah, he had two as 40-year-old man. But anyway, everything after that was just whatever. Yeah, 2022 wasn't even his fault. That was the mastermind, Todd Bowles. You guys remember how many games where Todd Bowles took the ball out of Tom Brady's hands because there wasn't enough time, or we didn't want to risk an interception, or we didn't want to do this. Todd was trying to sabotage Tom for some reason. Something was wrong there, and it didn't help that Tom was going through what he was going through. The team just wasn't clicking. They had the worst offensive coordinator I've ever seen in my life. It just because you're a quarterback does not mean that you can call plays or come up with plays. It doesn't always translate that way. Very rarely actually does it happen. But it was just, I don't know. I was really hoping that Tom was going to go somewhere else and try to get another one. So okay, let's build this quarterback. First, we have speed. Let me see here. I think it'd be easier to write the. There we go. Okay, guys, we have speed. Who we going with here? Who we going with? Who we going with? We will. I'll put a. I'll put a clock up, and we have to come to a consensus before the clock expires. So we're building the perfect quarterback, and then what we're going to do is we're going to post our quarterback on X and on YouTube and everywhere. And we're going to see if people can challenge our quarterback, and see then people can vote on it and see who the best quarterback is. Okay, so this is pure speed. So this isn't about juking or getting around people. This is just once he gets going and hits the hole, he's gone. Okay, so like nobody's catching this person. That's what this is about. So John Thomas Shaw is saying speed's got to be Vic or Lamar. Irie's saying Vic. Yugatharn's saying Vic. It's got to be another quarterback. We can't take from other players. You have to take from a quarterback. Oh, I forgot to tell you about the rules. A quarterback cannot have more than 2 attributes. So you can't say, you can say like Vic's speed and agility, but you can't say Vic's arm strength. That would be too many. So you're only allowed 2 attributes for a quarterback, and then that quarterback is no longer choosable. Okay. I think it's pretty obvious that we're going with Vic here. So let's go ahead and put him in. Okay. Now we have agility. Now this is the getting around, the juking and all that, being able to escape. We got 2 minutes for that. Now, honestly, I think you can go Vic again. Okay? But you can also go Lamar. It's got to be one of them two. Oh my gosh. Oh, he dropped it. Yeah, if that's true. If an attribute was having a dog in them, then I guess Vic would win, wouldn't he? Ooh, I like that. Yegor Tharn goes Fran Tarkington for agility. I really like that. That's good. That's really good. Ooh, another one, Blind Assassin, Randall Cunningham. I like that too. Man, there's so many. You guys know I've got an autographed football by Fran Tarkington. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Papa Pumpkin decides that he wants to commit suicide here, and he's saying, for agility, I might go Mahomes. He's not especially fast, but he's very agile. Yeah, for some reason, defensive players seem to just float around him. It's not that he's agile, it's that they're a lot of times the defensive players are thinking he's going to throw it, and they're trying to choose between go after him and let him throw it, or anticipate him running, but maybe try to block the pass. And that's what I see. I'm not seeing agility as much as just the defensive players psyching themselves out, generally speaking. I think that's what's happening. Yeah, Tharn says Fran Tarkenton being 6 foot tall helped them. Okay, we're out of time. We need a quarterback. We need so that overthrow by Lamar sucked, or whoever that was. Let me see. Yeah, why did he look different just now? That was weird. Yeah, Fran Tarkenton phenomenal agility, but we've got no consistency here. We need um. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot. I just don't believe that Mahomes' agility is better than these other guys we mentioned. I I I can't do that. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go with Lamar. I like that. I don't think we can go wrong with any of those. Okay, new clock. Let's go with next. Let's stick below the waist. Let's go with footwork in the pocket though. In the pocket. And while you guys are arguing about this, I'll be right back, okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay. All right. So we get footwork, clocks up. What do we got here? I have someone in mind, and I want to see if other people. Let's see. What y'all go with? No, what happened to the game? Okay, so for footwork, we've got Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Breeze. Someone says Brady's footwork was his most underrated trait. I think Marino had pretty nice pocket footwork. Try not to blow a point on Tom or Montana too soon. Rodgers' footwork. Yeah, it was atrocious before he got to the Packers. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ties here. Oh, what about Peyton? Have you ever seen his footwork? It's like a yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and break this up. I'm going to overrule here. I'm going to go ahead and go Montana. Okay, this next one's probably going to be pretty straightforward. I think there's only one man that we're going to think about for this, so we probably don't even need the whole 2 minutes. But we're going with toughness here. There it is. Okay. So that didn't take long. Yep. Far. Yep. I mean, there's who else are you going to even mention? Steve Young, he's had too many concussions. Okay, that was way too easy. Bradshaw's not a bad pick. Eli, but nobody can compare to Favre. That streak he had was ridiculous. You know, it's just, yeah. It would be criminal to pick anyone else, right? So, all right. We got that. Let's go. Let's go arm strength. Okay, I'm going to reset the clock here. Arm strength. Now, there are a lot of guys here. Favre, actually, remember, we can pick guys twice, but Favre is one of them. Okay? Elway, Josh Allen, be quite honest with you. Well, I'd say Michael Vick had good arm strength, and he had this wrist power, like he could just launch that thing. It's crazy. But we would call that something else, I think. But this is just pure arm strength, just full form throw down the field. Who can launch that thing? I don't know if you guys remember, but Jeff George, he could launch that freaking thing too. I mean, it was crazy. Drew Bledsoe, that's right. But Favre beat Drew Bledsoe in a throwing contest, so we couldn't put Drew over Favre, could we? Unless we don't want to pick the same quarterback twice. Maybe we shouldn't. What do you guys think? Should we only allow one quarterback to have an attribute? or should we allow 2? Vote real quickly. Let me know, because that will change the thinking process here. Only 1 attribute? I think that'd make it more difficult. And yeah, exactly. Okay. Because then if we had 2 attributes, we might end up creating a quarterback who's just made up of like 3 dudes or 4 dudes or something. So that would I like that. Okay. So arm strength, we're going. So Favre is out, but he would have been my pick probably. So Favre is out now. That makes it weird. I'll start over since we went ahead and changed the parameters there. So I would say Jeff George, John Elway, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, but I know Israel wants to have sex with Matthew Stafford, but I wouldn't pick him, to save my life. So Aaron Rodgers can launch it too, guys. So I think we can go. I think Elway is probably Elway or Josh. I would think is my personal ones. Yeah, we should put Brady, save Brady for an attribute that is difficult to find other people in. So we could put such an exceptional guy in that spot. So let's go Elway here. I think that's a safe choice. I don't think anybody's going to argue against that. Okay. This is going to start to get more difficult, guys. It's going to be tricky. Accuracy. Now, my pick for accuracy. I know a lot of people say Drew Brees, but a lot of that is short yard dump offs and stuff like that. So you got a high completion percentage. And a lot of stat horn going on with Drew Brees. But what if we went Kurt Warner? What if we went Kurt Warner? We got to think about that. I've seen him play so many times. I've seen him in person. I've seen him in practice, up close. This guy, his accuracy was just unbelievable. And our other picks that you guys are posting, like Rodgers, for example, I think we could save Rodgers for a different category. And maybe this is where we put in Kurt for accuracy. Because Aaron, I think we can find another place for Aaron that's a little harder. You don't think we can save Rodgers? Hmm. Yeah, there's Young and Aikman too. Oh, I forgot to start the clock. Like I told you, this is going to get harder and harder. A fumble. What is going on with Baltimore, dude? Yeah, but if we put Rodgers, hmm, it seems like you guys want Rodgers. Israel, we already got Montana in the footwork department. I just think we might want Rodgers available for some other things. This little chart here at the bottom is just a reminder to me. But there are more attributes than this. But the I'm adding attributes as we go along, just to make it interesting. Elf of Courage, we're trying to build the best quarterback of all time, and then we're going to post it on X and other places and see if anybody can challenge it and see if anybody can come up with a better quarterback than that. Okay, let's go, Warner. Let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. There's your pun. We could put Jim Kelly in the category of how to lose Super Bowls if you want. We could put him in later. Okay. Okay, we have an interesting category here. Off balance throw. Now, what this is a quarterback who is off on his back foot, who's awkward, who can't plant his feet. He's got to improvise. He's got to kind of throw in a weird, strange way and able to hit his target and be able to complete it. So this could be a place for Aaron. Could be Patrick. So this is one of those things where you're throwing the ball the way you should not throw the ball, but you somehow are able to complete or make something happen. That's really where we're at on that. Okay, I think we've got a consensus here. Okay, looks like we're going Mahomes. All right. This quarterback, man, is something else, let me tell you. Guys, I've got an idea. Check this out. Leadership. Okay, you guys ready for this? What if we traded? What if we put Kurt Warner in the leadership role and we put Aaron Rodgers in the accuracy? What if we did that? What do you guys think? Otto Graham, that's not bad. Johnny Unitas, that's not bad. That's good too. I honestly, guys, I think we should save Tom Brady for clutch. Okay, I think that is the one undeniable attribute thing that nobody can say. Okay, there's nobody who is more clutch under pressure and has proven it so many times. It's unreal than Brady. I mean, his net clutch and Tom Brady is synonymous. I cannot see him not being in that category. And to me, that's the greatest attribute of all. If you can win when it matters most, there's nothing. I don't care about your arm strength. I don't care about all. If you just win, get the victory. That's what I want to see, and I think that would be the best way to honor Tom. So, and we already put Montana for footwork. So, but even Montana didn't have as many crazy wins as Tom Brady. Now, leadership is more of how you keep the team together. Do the players like you? Do you help? Do you inspire them? You're kind of like a coach, but you're also a player in that sense. But no, clutch would be making the right plays, doing the right things when the moment is the hardest possible time. So they would be much different than, yeah. Clutch would be putting up, doing all the fundamentals correctly when you're the most nervous, you're the most up against it kind of thing. So large star, that's a good one. But we seem to be all over the place on here. Yeah, Drew Brees, he had a way of getting his guys together. Yeah, I can see Drew Brees in there. What about Otto Graham? That's a lot of championships, a lot of winning. I know we don't have a huge. That's the problem with guys back then. We don't have as much info, and as you know, we have very, very close knowledge of these other guys, you know. But it seems to me that this was back in an era where It was probably hard to keep guys together. You didn't get paid as much. Guys would probably, you have to keep the team together. Say, hey, I know you need to get that job. I know you. There was a different attribute, a different situation back then, and so to win consistently like that seems to me to be pretty cool. That's got to be difficult. But the problem is we just don't know enough. You know, I just don't know. That's speculation on my part, a lot of it. And does that mean that would win over somebody that I've seen? Where I know that Drew is a really good leader. So, what do you guys think? Let's get a consensus here. So let's narrow it down to Breeze, or are we going old school with Autogram? I would not call Peyton Manning a good leader. I would not. He's got a lot of good attributes, but that wasn't one of them, in my opinion. So, Jameis Winston. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, so Catfish is saying Autogram. Gord King, are you saying Drew? Okay, since I honestly can't verify Autogram in that sense, I want to though. I want to put an old guy there. Hey, Joe Flacco got a win over the Ravens. That's nice. Let me check something. Okay, I'm gonna have. You know what? Leadership for a quarterback is. If this is not leadership, I don't know. Okay, so look, 10 straight 10 straight championship appearances for Autogram, 46-55. 7 championships, won 7 in 10 seasons. I mean, again, the era, it says teammates described him as the unquestionable leader, tough, smart, never rattled. He was a two-sport pro, and was definitely, referred to as the captain. This was a time, like I said, to keep these guys together, to keep them from venturing out somewhere else. I mean, this is right after the World War II ended. I don't know, man. If you're winning that much, those guys have to believe in you. Those guys have to believe. They must think you are everything. And while I've seen Drew and I've seen how he acts and that people follow him, they had a lot of bad years. I mean, they're just throwing the ball, but nothing is happening. And how many times have we crapped on other quarterbacks for getting all those stats, but not translating, not inspiring? The defense has to believe in you too. And I don't know. With Otto, I think it was just harder, to be that consistent. I'm thinking about money, man. A lot of it is how do you keep those guys on the team? How do you keep them from taking a job at the steel mill, or something like that? How do you deal with guys going into the military, being sent to the Korean War? How do you consistently keep doing this over and over? I want to do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger on this one. We're going Otto Graham. Let's do it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Pre-snap. This would be the guy who walks up to the line, blah, 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 sees what's going on, assesses the situation, knows what they're up to, calls the audible, changes the play, gets it going, knows everything about you, calling you out, messing with your head. All these things happen before the ball is ever snapped. It's like a magic show, right? And we're going Peyton Manning. Okay, that was easy. Okay, now we have pocket presence. This is a guy who is not afraid to stand tall in the pocket, make the throw, doesn't care that someone's coming for him, doesn't care that everyone's falling at his feet, just constantly steps into the throw, goes right in, makes that throw, makes it well, but doesn't get rattled, doesn't freak out, doesn't, I gotta get rid of it. Just doesn't care. He just stands there and says, let's do it. Joe Flacco's that's not a bad pick, actually. It's not a bad pick. It's not. It really isn't. I know what you guys are thinking, by the way. At this point, we could have picked Brady for like how many of these? So that's just how ridiculous he is. So we got Marino. I was thinking about combining the pocket presence with the throwing from the pocket, basically. Let's just say that's all. Let's say that's all encompassing. If we do that, pocket presence. That's pocket awareness. That's aware of what's happening around you, not getting rattled, and being able to make the throw. Okay, so I'd say all of those are part of pocket presence, right? Let's. I would even say a quick release would be part of that, right? Would be. I think it's got to be Marino. I cannot. I'm trying to just trying to you know give a thought to anyone else who it could be, But what do y'all think? Oh, my eye's hurting. All right, let's go Marino. Man, this quarterback is insane. Okay. All right, guys. We have Clutch. This is the guy that if aliens came to Earth and said, we have the technology to annihilate you, okay? And we're not going to do that because it'd be too easy. So we want to earn how we're going to rule Earth. We're going to play a game of football, okay? We're going to put our quarterback against your quarterback. And your quarterback has to win this game because if he doesn't win this game, Earth is finished. And we're going to be completely taken over. If we win the game, they'll leave. They'll even leave us some kind of cool technology to like help us with like energy forever or something. They'll even be cool about it. But we got to pick the one quarterback that we think can get it done under the pressure of knowing that if we don't win, we're all dead. Now, I mean, I don't know if you guys can think about a guy like this. Maybe Jay Cutler, maybe Jay Cutler. That would be maybe. Nathan Peterman, not bad choice. Poor Nathan Peterman, and he's never going to live that down, is he? The guy didn't even play that long. He wasn't even around that long. He just had that run that was so bad and so, it's just poor guy. Poor guy. All right. Enough of that. You guys know I was just playing around here. So we're going to go Tom Brady, obviously. Yeah, like someone said earlier with Nathan Peterman, you can go with his generosity skills. That's true, Papa. That's true. Okay, you guys ready for the next attribute? Okay, we have improvisation. Because it's capitalized, I'm not sure if that's correct. You guys know when a word is capitalized, it looks weird, and you're like, does that, does that look right? I think I spelled that correctly. Now, if we're going improvisation, are we talking about like the ability to butt fumble? Is that like, because that was pretty good. That was pretty classic. So okay. So I think the obvious choice here is Aaron Rodgers. What do you guys think? Yeah, Rodgers. Okay, I'd say so. That's pretty safe. Pretty safe. Jamarcus Russell. Wow. Have you ever seen a loser like that guy? I mean, it's just the Raiders. Everyone was saying, don't take him. It was like, dude, you were warned, don't take him. It's unbelievable. Let's see, what did these guys put? Hmm. Now, you guys want to put some like physical attributes, like size, maybe? Yeah, how big do we want our quarterback to be? I don't know if that's yeah, we need to pick we need to know how tall our quarterback is and how big he is. Because he's got to be able to have this speed and agility stuff, but he's got to be, he can't be too big, right? But you don't want him short. You need him to be able to look over the line. Who works a day after Thanksgiving? Damn, that sucks, man. Sorry. All right, El, thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. What do we think about Josh Allen? Or do we separate height and weight? Do we? Well, I guess if you wouldn't have to if you pick Josh Allen. You get what is he like 6'6"? Six, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Josh Allen's probably that's probably the right one, right? Yeah, a quarterback can do all those things, but he looks like Josh Allen. That's ridiculous, dude. That's okay. This is a monster. We've created a monster. We created an undefeatable monster. Can't be hurt. Can't be injured. Can't miss. Knows what you're doing. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. I think I think that's everything. Can you guys think of anything else that we're missing? This quarterback is ridiculous, dude. Who's going to beat this quarterback? Is there a way to create this guy in Madden with all the points? Because don't they only give you like a certain amount of points? So if you could create this vision, would vision kind of fall into some of the other categories? Maybe. I don't want to be redundant. If you guys think vision might be different than something that is a complete separate attribute from what we already have, I'm not sure. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking what y'all think. I misspelled the word. I just saw that. See, it's when you capitalize, things look weird. I misspelled presence. Oh, there we go. Wait, I don't think I'd. No, I think I'd. Oh, I'm so confused now. I had it right the first time. Yeah. Duh. Always go with your instincts. But I'm telling you, when things are capitalized, they look funny. Oh, reading defenses would that be along with pre-snap? You know what the defense is going to do. Vision to recognize open guys that could be involved in pocket presence, that could be involved in accuracy, improvisation, off balance throws. All that could have vision in it. Yeah, I agree, Tharn. Yeah, reading defenses would part of pre-snap, in my opinion. Yeah, we don't need so many. I mean, we have a lot here, and I don't even know if we have any redundancy. Like speed and agility, we could probably combine that into one category and just make it Michael Vick. I mean, Philip Rivers' virility. I'm not sure. I mean, that sounds good. I don't know if that would help him necessarily be a better quarterback. But if we were doing that, I would say yes. So yeah, he didn't he create his own football team basically. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he does have the crappiest throwing technique. It's bad. Okay, so here's our perfect quarterback. Just overlooking it real quick. Man, that is a player. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Let's go. Okay. You guys, you guys, you guys want to build the shittiest quarterback of all time? I'm talking. I'm making this dude bad, 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 bad. Like this has just got to be the worst quarterback that's ever lived. Okay. All right. What's funny is that a lot of these good quarterbacks might end up in the bad category. Okay. This is going to be fun. Okay. The worst quarterback. This is so stupid. Oh shit, I dropped my thing. Okay, let's do this. Speed. Speed. Is it the GOAT? Is there anyone slower than the GOAT? Who would win in a race? Who would win in a race? Flacco, Peyton, or Tom? I guess that's how we would have to pick it. You think Manning's slower than Brady? If we have the opportunity, let's go with a famous quarterback. If like they're you know just as bad as the other guy, or close to it. Let's go ahead and default to like a if we can get some well-known quarterbacks in there just for the hell of it. So Ryan Mallett's 40 was 537. Yeah, he didn't represent Arkansas very well, did he? That's embarrassing. I might be able to beat him backwards. Okay, come on, guys. Peyton or Brady? Who's slower? We have 57 viewers, only 15 likes. If you guys could click like or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Love you guys. You think Tom was slower? Catfish thinks Manning. See, we're going back and forth here. We need a definitive. I've just seen I've seen Tom try to escape, and it's just so bad. But that might be agility. But who is the slowest downhill runner? I think Tom could beat Peyton in a race. I really do. Yeah. Yeah. Let's put Peyton for speed. I don't know, but Tom can move in the pocket though. I've seen him get around. He's got good leg. He's got good footwork. Hmm. Okay, I got it. Oh, this is hard. Okay. All right. I'm just going to do it this way. Speed, Brady. Okay. Fine. That'll work. Agility, Peyton. We got to put that in there. Clutch Gene, Jim Kelly. I like that. Okay. Who has the worst footwork in the league history? What do you guys think? Drew Bledsoe? Who just stands there and their feet, it's like their feet are in concrete, you know? There's just no footwork whatsoever. There's no nothing. Papa Pumpkin saying Alex Smith. Really? You think Alex? You, Ari Gustin's going recent. He's going JJ McCarthy. I know that Drew Bledsoe used to infuriate me with his footwork. I just, it was gross. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. Very, very, very bad. What do you guys think? Come on. Give me something. Let's go. I'm starting to cluck on you now. Catfish says, I was going to say Kyler Murray, but I remembered that size is the category. I'm Kyler Murray. I'm a little football baby. All right. I'm not getting a lot of answers, so I'm going to go ahead and put in Bledsoe, unless you guys come up with something better. All right. We got toughness. Who is the biggest wuss? Who is the LeBron James of, well, that's actually mental. That's mental right there. But who is physically always hurt? Who is cannot stay on the field? Who is made of glass? Okay, we want the guy who gets looked at and he just shatters. His body just shatters. It's like, okay, that's who we're looking for here. It's got to be Jimmy G, right? Burrow. Okay, we talked about Burrow. A lot of you guys are saying Burrow. When I think of glass, I think of Jimmy G. Like, just unbelievable how this guy was always injured. He was injured on the Patriots. He couldn't even finish 4 games. When Tom was suspended, Jimmy got his chance. He's going to get 4 games. He couldn't even do that. He couldn't even do that. And that was on New England. So, yeah, I know 49ers have a history of injury history and all that crap. But this is in New England, dude. And you still couldn't stay healthy. What a loser. Yeah, uh, Joe Montana was injured a lot, but I will say this. If a guy is made of glass in the modern era, he's definitely got to be the better pick over a guy from back then, right? Wouldn't y'all say? Because surviving now is almost too easy. If you're injured now, it's like, what are you doing? There's something wrong here, right? There's something wrong with your body. And I'm just thinking, yeah, 49ers fans can get triggered all they want, but that team, there's something wrong with that team. There's something wrong with 49ers and the Bengals, okay? It's the trainers, the training regiments, the nutritionists, all the doctors, everything. Something is wrong there, because no matter what they do, they've got injuries, and the 49ers are the main culprits. It's something they're doing, because every team has injuries, but no team is injured like that. It's ridiculous. Okay, I think we got to go Jimmy G here. The fact that he couldn't even finish a 4-game start in place of Brady is on that New England team is pathetic. This is 2016, guys. This is back with Dante Scarnecchia and everything. He had no excuses. He's just a wuss. All right. Brock Purdy sprained his pussy. Yeah. Those 49ers, man, they're just always hurt. Okay, guys, here we go. Arm strength. Who has the weakest, most pathetic arm in NFL history? Who's the guy that looks like Tyrannosaurus Rex throwing the ball? Just, yeah. I can't. I can't throw it. I can't throw it. Chris Sims. We've got to get Chris Sims in here somehow. I'm not sure how, but we've got to get him in here. I think his pocket awareness was shit. Okay, like we might be able to put Chris Sims in there, or stalking a Billy, but that's a positive though. I think Tharn's right about Chad Pennington. His arm was pretty bad. It was weak. I like that. Let's go Pennington there. Yeah, that's a good pick. We can put Tua in there for concussions if y'all want. We could put him, Troy Aikman, Steve Young. For CTE positive, how about that? Accuracy. Who is the guy that could not hit the broadside of a barn? Who's the guy that with a football couldn't hit sand if he fell off a camel? Okay? Who's the guy that couldn't hit water with a football if he fell off a boat? Who is this dude? It's got to be Tim Tebow, right? Is that who? It's got to be Tim Tebow. I like him as a person, love the guy. But I also love Brady, and I put him in speed. Remember, if you're just tuning in, we are building the worst quarterback now. So this is the worst quarterback we can think of. So this accuracy has got to be complete dog shit. Oh, I would no, not Color. There's way worse than Color. He wasn't that bad. He was actually pretty good. So let's go Tebow here. I mean, it was rough. It was rough. Leadership. Who is the most pathetic leader at quarterback that's ever lived? Who is the guy that just did not give a crap? Like he flip off fans. He would say the wrong things. He would get in fights with teammates. Everybody hated him. Everyone in the locker room hated him. Okay? Who is this man? Who is he? Is it Aaron Rodgers? Aaron was hated by his teammates, but he was loved by the fans. So we're just saying, I don't think the fans would matter in this case, would it? So this is leadership in the locker room and on the field. Who is that guy that is just everyone in the locker room hates this guy, doesn't believe in him, won't follow him, doesn't think that he can, this guy just doesn't care. Jamarcus Russell. Although we could create a category for laziness, but well, no, that might be leadership too. Yeah, let's go to Jamarcus Russell. Because Aaron Rodgers, although he had teammates that hated him, they still believed in him that they could get something done. Okay, pre-snap. Who's the guy? You got a quarterback. It's time to walk up to the line. It's first down. You got your team received the punt. You're going back out there. You walk up to the line. You're looking around, and you're looking at all the defensive players and everything, and think about the call. And you just have absolutely no fucking clue what the hell is going on. I mean, you're just looking around, going, huh? Is it Colin Kaepernick? Is it Rex Grossman? Who's the guy that walks up to the line and craps himself, who has no idea what's happening? I just don't know. I just don't know. Is it Chris Sims? I would save Chris Sims for pocket presence. It's awful. He was awful. When I was putting together all of his low light reels, I mean, that's the one thing I just kept seeing over and over again was that he just did not know what to do when people started flying near him and flying at him. He was just so confused. So ridiculous. Are we going Rex Grossman for pre-snap? It seems like that's what we've gotten. Well, we got one vote for him. I thought we had two. It's the same person. Achilles Smith, I don't know a lot. I don't know enough about him. Justin Fields, that's a pretty good pick. But I mean, you got to think. This guy's just completely lost. Just doesn't know what's happening out there. Oh, the Bears. Okay. I have to say, Rex Grossman was pretty bad. But Justin Fields is bad too. Let's go ahead and go Fields here. Pocket presence. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put Chris Sims in there. Of course, not his dad. Okay, his dad could actually play. All right, guys, we have clutch. Who is the guy? It's the Super Bowl. It's the fourth quarter, and you need a touchdown to win the game. You're down by 4, so you have to have a touchdown. Field goal won't do it. You go out there and you completely shit yourself. You go out there and you just do the unthinkable. You throw a pick. You fumble the ball and don't recover it. You just don't have it. And it's due to you being scared. It's you to the moment is too big for you. This is who we're talking about here. This is the anti-clutch, anti-Tom Brady gene. This is the opposite of Tom Brady. So we got to go the other direction. Who is this guy? Who is this person? We have a vote for Jim Kelly. How do you go to 4 Super Bowls and lose them all? And each one got worse as you went back. You're supposed to at least get better as you go back because you got experience. Craig Morton, that's an interesting pick. Now remember, for a guy to be bad in the clutch, he's got to be in clutch situations for us to know. So we're looking for a choker. We're looking for a guy who has been in the situations but never comes through. But you also have to keep in mind, it's because of him. Okay, so it's got to be something where he just doesn't play like himself. He just becomes crappy. We can't just pick some random crappy player because he wasn't in enough clutch situations to even matter. So we got to find a guy who has actually been in the position and just lost it. Just like, what's the matter with you? You know, basically we're looking for like a LeBron type guy that just the moment's too big for him. He needs somebody else to help him. He needs somebody else to do that. So how many of those Super Bowls was lost due to Jim Kelly playing like crap? Tony Romo's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. Oh, John, don't mention Warren Moon. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I was hoping to get through all this without him being brought up. Don't do that to me. Is it Cam Newton? That was a winnable Super Bowl, man. I agree. I think failing to make the Super Bowl is worse than losing one. Absolutely, because you're the champions of your conference if you make it to the Super Bowl. So you won something, you know. But are we is it more fault of Kelly losing those than it is when Lamar Jackson gets in those games and he can't play? He just can't play. You got Cam Newton, you got Romo. I like Romo, but he wasn't in a lot of big. I mean, he was in a few playoff games where he choked his ass off, right? Can't really throw Matt Ryan in there. Matt didn't really lose that game. That was kind of like an overall uh, team issue. I would say play calling probably. So yeah, I have no idea who Alabama John is. Rodgers, huh? Yeah, if he didn't have that Super Bowl, I think we could throw him in there. But he did get the job done. What I can't believe about Rodgers is that 2014 we were supposed to get Brady versus Rodgers. That was going to be the epic game, right? What did Russell Wilson have, like 5 interceptions, 4 or 5 interceptions, right? All Aaron had to do was just get first downs, and that game's over against Seattle. That's all he had to do. How do you lose that game? Yeah, Rodgers has lost like 4 or 5. Yeah, but again, he does have that Super Bowl where he came through. So how can we put him over Lamar or somebody like that? That 2014 championship game was rough. I was wanting a Brady versus Rodgers game. That was going to be amazing. Philip Rivers, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I like that. But a lot of times, was it him? Again, we have to go back to, is it their fault though? Are they playing like crap? Are they the ones that are actually destroying their chances? Or is it happening to them? Is it happening around them? Like I saw the Chargers, they lost a lot of big games due to coaching, due to sometimes running backs not, you know, or like LaDainian Tomlinson pretending to be injured. It's more of a mental thing all around. And I've seen Philip out there slinging the ball, throwing the ball, determined. I just don't know if I would lay that at his feet. I think the Chargers choking as a team, that was more of a team wide problem than it was just Philip only. But I mean, yeah, with Lamar, I mean, isn't that kind of his MO right now? I just don't remember Philip just being atrocious, like forgetting how to play football in the big moments. That's what I'm saying. This we're talking about the worst. We're talking about a guy who just completely loses it, and when the game is at its height, he can't play. He just can't play. He does everything different. The reason I am leaning towards Lamar is because the guy has 2 MVPs. How do you get 2 MVPs? How do you play so well when there's no pressure, regular season, okay? No pressure. So you've proven that you can do it. And you go the exact opposite when the pressure's on and you just don't know how to play anymore. There's no excuse for that. The only reason that's possible, the only way that's possible, is because the moment is too big for you. I think Lamar, I think when you go from being MVP twice, showing that you have the ability, and then you can't play at all, and you look like a retarded rookie out there in the playoffs, I think there's no excuse that can be made for that. I think that's all you, dude, especially with the Ravens team. Okay, we're going Lamar Jackson. That's it. Okay, next we have improvisation. Who is the guy that if the play breaks down, he has no idea what to do and he just crumbles? He just, he cannot make anything happen at all after his first read is gone. First read's gone. He cannot figure out what to do next. He can't just, he just freaks out. People coming at him, he doesn't know what to do. Who is that guy? Okay, we have another Rex Grossman pick. So this guy really, Tharn does not like Rex Grossman. He really wants to shit on Rex Grossman. Tua, that's good. Zach Wilson, that's good. Yeah, dude, I saw Rex Grossman play in person. This guy, he just sucked. He sucked. Johnny Manziel. Yeah, dude was gross, man. Blurpy. What's up, Blurpy? Thank you, Cheryl Lay and Nolan Axel, for subscribing on Rumble. Appreciate it, guys. Okay, who are we going with here? Who is the guy who cannot improv to save their life? We're going Manziel here? Boy, that's one of the best picks I ever made during a draft, is when I said that Johnny Manziel will be garbage in the NFL. My brother, Steven, can vouch for me on this. I said that. He agreed. And we were like, and then we got in an argument with this guy that was in our fantasy football league because he was a Texas fan or something. And he got a heated argument about this. He was acting like Johnny Manziel was like his cousin or something, or maybe his girlfriend. But me and Steven, we were just like, no, it's not going to translate. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It just isn't going to happen. He's going to suck. Boy, did we get that one right. Two of my best picks ever was, one, picking against Manziel, and two, picking for Russell Wilson. So in that draft, yes, I knew Andrew Luck was going to be good. I would have taken Russell Wilson over RG3. And I had Russell Wilson over him. Because again, if you watched Gruden's quarterback camp, and if you watched all of them get interviewed, you will see why I made that decision. Just go back and watch it. Watch RG3, watch Russell Wilson, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I landed that pick pretty good. I mean, for a long time, Russell was a good player. And then he married that chick, and everything went to crap. So, boy, Kurt, he's made a lot of money off the system, hasn't he? Okay, let's go Manziel here. Okay, I think size is pretty easy. I think we're going football baby. I'm a little football baby. Okay, we need some more categories for the worst quarterback, though. There's got to be some more categories we can come up with. Film study. Would that fall under leadership? Like do as I do, or kind of thing. IQ. Oh, I can tell you who's got the dumbest IQ. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the blank DVD story for Jamarcus Russell is pretty rough. We'll just leave that one under leadership. Pet care, Michael Vick, nice. Not that it has anything to do with quarterbacks, but it is funny. Not funny, but you know what I mean. So, football IQ. Who is the rock bottom dumbest ass quarterback ever? We're talking low Wonderlic scores. We're talking just a dumb shit. Okay? Colin Kaepernick comes to mind. I remember Vince Young was pretty dumb. Oh my God. Guys, I didn't even know this. Vince Young's Wonderlic score was a 6. A 6. Holy crap. He got 6 questions right out of 50. Holy crap, that's stupid. Now, the second lowest is Chris Leak at 10. But here's something interesting. Tua scored a 13. Next lowest is Lamar Jackson. Oh, it's a tie. Lamar Jackson also 13. But his physical gifts make up for it. Donovan McNabb is the next lowest at 14. So that's our top 5. Our top 5 worst Wonderlic scores is Vince Young, Chris Leak, Tua, Lamar Jackson, and Donovan McNabb. But I remember Vince Young being a complete dumbass. I really do. I didn't even realize he was the lowest like that. A 6? A 6? That's bad. Tua being number 3. I mean, wow. I did not know that. I didn't expect that. Yeah, Kalex Entertainment. I agree. I think Lamar actually established himself after this. This was taken during the draft, and I remember the transition from, after his first year when he had some trouble. In that off season, he made a lot of changes. Then he came back and he was just a completely different player. So, yeah, we're not going Lamar here. I think Lamar could probably do better, but I cannot believe Tua though. Like, I never thought of him as that dumb. So it's got to be Vince Young, right, guys? Because, like I said, I didn't know about Vince Young's uh, such a low Wonderlic score. I just remember him being a stupid football player, just a stupid player. And seeing that with the low Wonderlic score, that is, I mean, that's got to fit, right? So that has to work. You can't beat that. Better put V Young so nobody thinks we're talking about Steve Young, because Steve Young was completely different, I think. So, oh, the Wonderlic matter does, yeah, it matters because there's a lot of the questions are problem solving and logic and thinking your way out of things, and it's like applied mathematics is in there. Um, just problem solving. Those things matter for a quarterback, especially. Durability, Kalex, we have that kind of in toughness. So basically, it was just a guy who is made of glass. Um, so we kind of covered that. We jokingly have pet care, of course. That's Michael Vick. Um, Probably won't leave that one in there, but we don't have football IQ on the best building the perfect quarterback. You guys want to do that? You guys want to throw football IQ over there? Okay, we'll throw in pull out game. Pull out game. Got to be Rivers. He's not any good. Hellman, Antonio Cromartie. But Antonio is a wide receiver, of course. But if we add football IQ to the building the perfect quarterback, I think we could go. I think we could go. We could go Romo or Fitzpatrick. What do you guys think? I mean, naturally, I would have picked, Tom Brady or Peyton if they were available. but they're not. Jim Kelly for IQ. Interesting. What do you guys think about Romo? Oh, that's interesting, Israel. It's an interesting stat. Okay, Lex, the reason we thought of Montana, but the reason we skipped Montana is because we thought a guy getting injured all the time in this modern era is worse. It's more egregious than a guy getting injured a lot back then. I just think the difference is like he should not be getting injured as much as Jimmy G does in this era. It's inexcusable. Not that you can't get hurt, okay, but it's less likely to get completely destroyed, you know. So we had to give the edge to them. Okay, so we got a lot of different picks here. We have Bart Starr for IQ. We got Breeze. I proposed Tony Romo or Ryan Fitzpatrick. But when I say Ryan Fitzpatrick, the problem is that that's real IQ. I don't know how good his football IQ is. So I don't even know if I can. But I know Romo's. Romo was always good with knowing the game, and he proved that, of course, as a commentator. It's just he was lacking that ability to get it done when the pressure was on. But he definitely knew his way around the the plays and all that. He knew the game. So that's it. That's it. Catfish got it. That's it. And your luck. That's it. Good job. That's it. That finishes it right there. If we had a category for biggest badass, it would be Roger Staubach. Maybe we should put that in there. Total badass. Staubach. What's up, kiddo? You want to come up here? Come on. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so for the worst quarterback, can you guys think of anything else we can throw in there before we wrap this up? Come here, buddy. Let's ask him. Holy shit. How about this for size? How'd you like to sack him? Oh, yeah, bah. Down, set, hut, 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 hut. That's the same cat that used to sit on top of my head. You guys remember that? Okay, with Deshaun Watson, how do we incorporate that? Like, Gord King will probably be good for this. How do we incorporate Watson for the massages? Diddy game? We could put Diddy game. But he would be good at it though, right? Like he'd be good at, well, maybe not. He got caught, right? So you're supposed to get away with it. The Sharpie Watstein. That's pretty good. Robert Kraft. You guys, man. Let's see. Oh, I got it. So, um, so the people that, um, the trainers that work on the players and stuff, um, we'll just put training table. Watson. There we go. So who's the worst quarterback on the training table? Meaning that he's going to try to like put your hand on his dick or something, right? So that would definitely be Deshaun Watson. Favre. He just sends dick pics. Who was talking about wives earlier? That was pretty funny. We can't pick Brady. We already have Brady for speed. So who's got the worst? Who's got the worst girl besides Brady with Giselle? Who can beat that, or who can at least compare to it? Matthew Stafford. What's up with his girlfriend or wife? Is she bad? Wasn't Kaepernick banging like a dude with like a dude dressed up like a girl, right? You know what? It's got to be Kaepernick because I think maybe she had something to do with his, you know, turning against America and trying to become all this crap. Because I remember because she was the one he was going to be the backup for the Baltimore Ravens, and then she's the one that screwed that up. Oh yeah, he's not married though. That's true. Okay, we'll go Russell Wilson because he became a cuck after that, after he married her. There we go. Yeah, Ciara's destroyed him. That's true. Yeah, it would be Kaepernick if he was married though. We could do communist, communist, leftist, well, the same thing. What's the difference? We'll put patriot, Colin Kaepernick. Worst hair? How about stupidest clothes? We'll put fashion. Money management. What quarterback went broke the fastest? Who went broke quicker than anyone? Is it Jameis Winston? Yeah, but Cutler wasn't just throwing his money away, though, was he? We're talking about a guy who's just irresponsible moron who just gave his money to everybody. We're talking like Mike Tyson levels of idiocy. Okay, this category could be the worst quarterback to get a lot of money. That could be interesting. I think that would be Russell, wouldn't it? Jamarcus Russell. We already got him. Yeah, bad investments though. That's not really stupidity. That's just, he's trying to make something happen. He was trying to do the right thing, investing into stuff. That's not like going broke because you're buying diamond rings and gold chains and Lamborghinis and stuff. Um, you're just being a complete idiot. I don't understand the Shadir Sanders pick at all. I'm not. I don't understand what that is. But Vince Young, yeah, we already got him as a dumbass. So go ahead and put Jameis for now. Okay. There we go. Okay. So before we go, there's one more thing I want to show you guys. So this. Stop moving, stupid ass. Okay. So draft bust. Israel just sent me something on X. Says someone said because this is how the Chiefs lost, can't overcome bad officiating. The league is getting to disprove the national narrative one game at a time this season. Wow, that's interesting. It's pathetic. Okay, guys. So you see this logo, Vaughn Morphy? This is a new channel I just started. It is just one second. I'm going to send you guys a link to it. I have no subscribers. I just started it. If you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, I'm going to pin it to the top. So that is my new channel for chess. So it's chess only. And I will be in off nights. It has nothing to do with Von on Sports as far as like it won't interfere with Von on Sports. But it'll be just like off nights. I'll stream chess, me playing chess. Also, from time to time, maybe do some videos just talking about chess. Nothing crazy or anything, but just for fun. It's just something I like to do. And so while I'm playing chess, we can talk about football. What we were doing tonight. We can talk about anything. Okay, we just have fun conversations in an off night where nothing's happening, like a Tuesday night or something like that, like something random. So if you guys would be so nice to go there and subscribe. Oh, look, I've got 4 subscribers now. Thank you guys. Look at that. I am. Hell yeah. Let's go. Who's first? Kalex Entertainment was first. Number 1. So, would I ever do live streams with guests and debate football? Of course. Yeah. Thank you, Gord King. Thank you, guys. Let me go to my dashboard here. It doesn't always show you who subscribed. If your settings are to where no one can identify you. But cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I'm going to be in a chess tournament in January. Me and Milena both. We entered a tournament here in LA. So that'll be cool. I'm excited about that. I like doing competitive things. I still have that in me where I want to do stuff and compete at anything and everything. You know, guys know how it is. So yeah. So Kalex Entertainment was asking me about would I ever do live streams with guests and debate football. So there's something that me and Milena um, have been talking about, and what we would like to do, or what we've been thinking about doing, is starting a show here on this channel, very similar to First Take and Undisputed, where we have a moderator and I will sit across from someone else debating, and then sometimes we can have guests, or you guys can call in and debate a subject. Now, we did something similar like this before, but it wasn't very organized and it wasn't very, like, the subject matter wasn't established. It was just kind of loose, like just, everybody talking at the same time and just saying random stuff. And it could be any sport, it primarily probably be football, but we can talk about other things too. But we were thinking about doing this in a consistent manner. What would that mean? That would mean that we would need a moderator that is always available for this thing. And I would need an opponent, or, a counterpart, kind of like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman kind of thing. So I would need I would say more like a partner, somebody who is reliable, somebody I can depend on, that will always be there for the show and can always do it and commit to it. So this is something that we've been thinking about doing. It would not be on the same night as this show, VAS Live. That's a different thing. But I've just had enough of listening to these people and people taking what they say. These people rig these conversations. Before the show, they have a studio meeting before First Take and Undisputed, when that was on. And they're assigned what side they're going to take. Like, they already knew what side they were going to take. And that's not fun. It's like, oh, you got to defend this. What you want real people disagreeing because they really believe that. And sometimes you don't disagree. Sometimes you both agree with the same thing. And then you just talk about it. And that's fine. You don't always have to be against each other. But that's more realistic, right? But on those shows, every day, one guy said something against the other. One of the biggest things that annoyed me about First Take is Max Kellerman's Tom Brady thing. He admitted that on his first day, because he replaced Skip Bayless, on his first day, he wanted to come up with something that would be memorable and controversial to make him like the villain. So he picked the Tom Brady angle. He didn't even believe that. He didn't even believe what he was saying. Okay? He was just trying to, it was just the show. It was for the show. And so it's all nonsense. It's all a lie, And if they were real, if these shows were real, then you would have days, many days, where they all agree. So maybe they just give their opinions on details and things like that. But there will be plenty of times where they'll have the same opinion. And that lets you know that it's real. Nobody can disagree all the time like that unless you were trying to do that. Unless you are being a contrarian, and that means that you're not being honest. So you're just throwing that out there just to take the opposite side. And yeah, I know people like the drama, or it feels like drama, but it's fake. It's not real. So wouldn't you rather have a show where if they're arguing, they mean it. Like they're serious. And the thing is, I would know, and I would call it out. I would know if the person I'm debating is taken aside just to disagree with me, because I would know their history. I would know how they feel and what they really think in real life, and I would be like, dude, why are you challenging me? You don't believe that. So I would call them out. So they won't be able to do that. They won't be able to. I would know if the position you're taking is legit, basically. So, but there's so many arguments on X that are just so stupid. And it's not just football, it's in basketball and other sports. And I really would just be able to address these things and talk them out. And I would love for haters to call in. They just have to do it in an organized fashion. We tried this a few times. One of the most notable ones I remember is we had a conspiracy theorist on here, and he was claiming that there were magnets in the balls, and so the kicks were like, being controlled. He claimed that Tom Brady's father was a billionaire, and that it's some kind of Illuminati conspiracy, like Tom Brady was chosen from some kind of cabal to be the player he is, and all this. Just some really odd stuff that didn't make any sense. So we did that. The problem with that is that I thought that it could be interesting, because I wanted to hear him out, and I thought he would have some like interesting angle to why he believes those things. But after it got about 10 minutes in, maybe 15 minutes into the debate, and if you watch this debate, you could see it on my face. After about 10 to 15 minutes into the debate, I suddenly realized what I was dealing with. It was a situation where I realized this is all completely pointless. There is nothing I can say to this guy that would change his mind. There's nothing I can say that would change anybody's mind that believes this stuff. And the stuff he was saying was so outrageous and so just utterly retarded that I was like bored, like, okay, how do you even address something like this? It was that crazy. So I don't want any of that, okay? I did everything I could not to make a fool out of him. I did not want to make him look stupid. And there was a personal reason for that, but we won't get into that. But I did not want to do that. So I tried to be as professional as possible. I tried to take him seriously when he would propose something. But in my head, my brain was exploding. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, catfish. And then we after we lost the Bills in the playoffs, you guys remember when we got completely destroyed back in like 2022? I let some Bills fans call in, and yeah, they mooned us on camera. It's like, okay. I was letting them yell and scream and have their moment. I was completely fine with it, and then they mooned us, and then I had to cut them off. Still thought it was funny though, but I didn't want the stream to get cut off, So, but anyway, so that's what I was thinking. Me and Melanie were thinking about doing that. So I think it could be interesting, because I'm tired of typing these responses on X all the time. We should be talking them out. We should be articulating them better and being able to give more detail and be more specific, And I just think that'd be a lot more fun and a lot more interesting. So we're going to look into doing that. And I don't know how many times a week we'd do it. I don't know if it would be like a once a week thing or every few times a week. I'm not sure. I guess it depends on how people react. And again, it depends also on the people that I'm working with. I need consistency. I need that person to be able to commit to doing this and be good at it. So anyway, so there's my ideas and my plans for that. But again, guys, if you don't mind, please subscribe to Von Morphy. I put the link in the chat there. It's tagged at the very top. I really appreciate it. Thank you for helping me get started because I've got just so few subscribers. I just started it though, but it'd be nice to have you guys help me kickstart it, get it going there. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. It's been a great night. I had so much fun tonight. This has been awesome. You guys stuck with me. We still have 52 people watching. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Please click like before you go. That would be great. And it looks like I will see you guys Monday night for the Pats game. So the Patriots versus Giants. I will be here. We'll be doing that whole game live. So let's see. Anything else? Anything else? No, I think I covered everything I want to tonight. So, all right. That's good. So I'll see you guys Monday night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. How about them Cowboys? Let's go.
Von Allen Sports.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching Von Allen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. Von Allen Sports, let's go!
Von Allen Sports. Von Allen Sports.
This is the man with the most badass name in sports. The Pharaoh, the Egyptian god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown. And on behalf of my man Von Allen, we want to thank you for your support. Let's fucking go.
Von Allen Sports.